Well, I think gold from a more secular perspective, I find very compelling for two reasons. One, from a fundamentals perspective, if you just, you know, what problem do we have globally? Not just the US. Gold is a global asset, very important to
Yeah,
recognize. So, like what
yeah.
happens in China and other developed economies and in the emerging world, they all matter to gold supply and demand. The big picture story globally is we have too much debt, and particularly too much government debt, relative to our ability to earn income in the future to pay off those debts. And basically the way that works, and that's a story that has existed many times in the past through many different cycles, and has basically only resulted in one very simple solution, which is the devaluation of money relative to stuff and income producing assets. And that's how it works out. And so that sort of fundamental, who knows, today, tomorrow, 3 months, who knows? But what matters is sort of strategically, we're in that circumstance that should be beneficial, should be really beneficial to gold over time. And then I think, more structurally, I think gold has benefited from being vastly underowned, particularly in the West. Like if you look at financial advisors, 90% of them don't have literally zero gold in their clients' portfolios. And those that do have gold, the average is like 1% of your portfolio. And you just compare that to stocks or frankly bonds, and you look at it, it's like the whole world is overweight stocks and bonds, and nobody holds any gold. And so it just doesn't take that much shift in allocations. A 1% shift in allocations would be a huge influence
Yeah.
on the gold market.
That's amazing.
Can I throw two quick follow-ups?
Sure.
So number one, you said gold is a global asset. We're not really like a Bitcoin show, but we have had crypto people on like Natalie Brunell, most notably. And I'm always trying to distinguish between the two. I think you said something that's important. Gold is a global asset. Bitcoin is not, right? Not yet. I mean, even like China banned it, at least for a period of time. Could you say that Bitcoin currently is not a global asset?
Well, I think Bitcoin is. There's certainly there's certain areas of the world that are excluded from it, and excluding China through bans is a pretty big component of it. And you certainly contrast that with gold. Like, part of the reason why there's so much domestic Chinese gold demand from the private sector is because they can't invest in other assets, including Bitcoin, right? So gold, real estate sucks, stocks suck, wealth management products suck. They can't get their money out of the country into dollars. Like, the only thing that's left is to, hold gold. That's it's the long time asset. I think when it comes to Bitcoin, the corollaries, there's certainly some corollaries between Bitcoin and gold. I just think when you think about which people are going to move to in this sort of environment, like gold has a 3,000 year track record in a certain, demonstrating these return properties. Bitcoin has meaningfully less track record. And if you just empirically look at the return pattern, gold is doing what you'd expect it to do given that fundamental dynamic. And the drivers of Bitcoin have been much more idiosyncratic over time. And so, just less confident that Bitcoin is going to be a good alternative currency or a reliable alternative currency.